Okay, dear students, and the next Subhabu, lecture in chemistry, which I will presenting the third lesson in solid state. We have already discussed the type of lattice points, their contribution, type of unit cells, and effective number of atoms that belong to each unit cell, and a classification of the systems based on the revised unit cells. All these things were we discussed. And crystal lattice unit cell. So, what is crystal lattice? The three-dimensional arrangement of the particles is called crystal lattice. And in crystal lattice, the smallest portion which repeats in all the three directions to form entire crystal lattice is called a unit cell. Say, this is the crystal lattice. Each cube in this crystal lattice is said to be a unit cell. As it is in the form of cube, it is called cubic unit cell. And we also aware that there are four types of cubic unit cells: primitive cell, base-centered cubic unit cell, body-centered cubic unit cell, and then edge-centered, end-centered cubic unit cell. Okay, we discussed all these things in the previous class. Now we discuss the close packing of particles. We all aware that the particles are closely packed in solids because the interparticle forces are high when compared to thermal energy. So these come close to each other and they are closely packed with each other. When these are closely packed with each other, then the number of neighboring particles that come into contact with a central particle is called coordination number. So coordination number is nothing but the number of neighboring particles that come contact with a reference particle. So how to calculate this coordination number and what is the importance of this coordination number? We calculate the coordination number based on the radius of the particles. The ratio of radius of particle R small by R large gives the coordination number. If this R small by R large or in ionic crystals, this may be taken as radius of cation by radius of anion. If the radius of cation by radius of anion range is less than 0.155, then coordination number is 2. Then coordination number is 2. And based on this coordination number, okay, we can explain the shape of the molecule or shape of the crystal. If the coordination number is 2, then the shape of a crystal is linear. Okay. For example, if we take an example, it is HF. It is HF. If R small by R large radius ratio is between 1.1552 to 0.225, then the coordination number is 3. Then the coordination number is 3. And trigonal planar will be the shape. Trigonal planar. If we take an example, BO3 minus 2. BO3 minus 2. Next, if the radius ratio is 0.225 to 0.414, then the coordination number is 4. If this coordination number is 4, then the shape of the molecule is tetrahedral. Then the shape of the molecule is tetrahedral. And if we take an example for tetrahedral molecule, CCl4 or CH4, etc. If radius ratio, that is R small by R large, is in between 0.4142, 0.732, then coordination number is 6. If coordination number is 6, the shape of the molecule will be octahedral or FCC. Okay? If we take an example, NaCl. For NaCl, the radius ratio is 0.523, which lies between 0.4142 to 0.732. Okay? So it is a face-centered cubic structure. And if the radius ratio is 0.732 to 0.99, 0.732 to 0.99, then the coordination number will be 8. The coordination number will be 8. If coordination number is 8, then the shape of the crystal will be BCC, body-centered cubic structure. Body-centered cubic. Example, cesium chloride. Example, cesium chloride. Okay. In NaCl, the coordination number is 6, means each Na plus ion is surrounded by 6 Cl minus ions, and each Cl minus ion is surrounded by 6 Na plus ions. So that is meant by coordination. In the same way, for cesium chloride, radius of cation by radius of anion is 0.912. This 0.912 lies between 0.732 and 0.99. So the coordination number is 8 and its shape is body-centered. The coordination number is 8 means in cesium chloride, each Cs plus ion is surrounded by 8 Cl minus ions, and each Cl minus ion is surrounded by 8 Cs plus ions. So it is said to be 8:8 type of crystal. In the same way, NaCl is said to be 6:6 type of crystal. Okay. Next, when these particles come close to each other, then these particles are treated as spheres. When these particles are treated as spheres, there will not be complete contact with each other. There will not be clear contact with each other. The surfaces touch with each other, thereby we get some vacant space. That vacant space is called void. That vacant space is called void. Okay. Say this is one particle. This is another particle. Say this is another particle. Okay, then these particles come close to each other and say this is another particle. Say this is another particle. Say this is another particle. So between these particles, some vacant space exists, which is called void space. Void or void space. There are 3 types of voids. First one is triangular void. What is meant by triangular void? When 3 spheres come contact with each other in this pattern, if we join these the centers of these particles, we will get a triangle. This is called a triangular void. This is called a triangular void. In close packing, in 3-dimensional close packing, if a particle comes above these particles like this, then this triangular void is covered by another sphere, then the void formed is called tetrahedral void. Then that void is called a tetrahedral void. Okay, if we take a tetrahedral void, see here, Say these are the three particles. Say these are the three particles. These three particles come close to each other. This vacant space is called a triangular void. If this triangular void is covered by another sphere like this, the void now formed is called, this void now formed is called tetrahedral void. The void now formed is called a tetrahedral void. Okay, this is about the tetrahedral void. So the void formed by four spheres in three-dimensional mode is called a tetrahedral void. So this is another type. Next, if we take a third type of void, it is octahedral void. Octahedral void. Octahedral void is formed by 6 spheres. We are taking three spheres like this, and if we take 3 spheres like this, 1, 2, and 3. The void formed now is called octahedral void. So octahedral void is formed by 6 spheres. Say these are 3 spheres. These are another 3 spheres. Okay, I am placing these 3 spheres like this. Okay, these 3 spheres like this. These 3 spheres like this. Okay, so now the void formed with these 6 spheres is called tetrahedral void. So, sorry, octahedral void. Octahedral void is formed by 6 spheres. Octahedral void is formed by 6 spheres. Okay, so these are the voids. Void is nothing but a vacant space present in the crystal due to the close packing of particles in three-dimensional mode. Okay, this is about the octahedral void. And now, this packing of particles can be explained in 3 stages. First stage is one-dimensional packing of particles in one dimension. Packing of particles in one dimension. The particles, when these particles come close to each other like this, okay, a linear structure is formed. See, this is the reference particle. Then it is in close contact with 2 other particles. So the coordination number is 2. So the coordination number is 2. So coordination number is nothing but the number of neighboring particles that come close to or come contact with the reference particle or central particle. So the coordination number is 2. This is one dimension. This is along one axis. Next, 2-dimensional closed packing. This 2-dimensional closed packing is again divided into 2 types: square closed packing and hexagonal closed packing. Square closed packing and hexagonal closed packing. What is meant by square closed packing? So we are taking the particles closely packed with each other in along x-axis. This is one dimension. If the another line of particles come close to the above line, then this type of two-dimensional closed packing is called square closed packing. Why this is called square closed packing? Say this is the reference particle. To this reference particle, how many particles are coming close to each other? 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 particles are coming close to each other. Okay. Why this is called a two-dimensional way? This is called two-dimensional because along x-axis and along the y-axis. If we join the centers of the 4 particles, we will get a square. So this is called a square closed packing of 3 dimensions. Sorry, 2 dimensions. 2D square closed packing. 2D square closed packing. Or 2-dimensional closed packing will be like this also. Say this can be treated as A type of closed packing. A type of 2D closed packing. A type of 2D closed packing. Say this is a layer like this. If a row like this, if another row comes close contact in such a way that the dips of the first line are occupied by the spheres of the second layer like this, then this type of two-dimensional closed packing is called hexagonal closed packing. Okay, if this is a linear packing, say this is the B linear packing, here these two spheres are duplicating each other, or the spheres of layers lie with the spheres of the third layer. So this can be taken as A. So this is called AB type of two-dimensional closed packing. AB type of two-dimensional closed packing. This is called hexagonal closed packing. Two-dimensional hexagonal closed packing. AB type of two-dimensional closed packing. It is called hexagonal closed packing because if this is the reference particle, it is in contact with the 6 other particles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we join these centers of these 6 particles, then we will get a hexagon. So this is called a hexagonal closed packing, two-dimensional hexagonal closed packing. Okay, we will observe this here. So this is linear closed packing. This is linear closed packing. Say this is here, if we observe the spheres in sphere closed packing, the spheres, centers of the spheres lie in the same line, horizontally and vertically. Horizontally and vertically. In hexagonal closed packing, we don't observe vertical, the centers of the particles do not come in the vertical line, but they come in the horizontal line. So this is the difference between these two, between square closed packing and a hexagonal closed packing. This is square closed packing. And if we observe the second one, this is hexagonal closed packing. Hexagonal closed packing. It is one row. The spheres of the other rows comes into the dips of the first row. Okay, here these are placed in the dips of middle row, and these are also kept in the dips of the middle. If I observe, this is the reference particle. This reference particle is in contact with the 6 other particles. So the coordination number is 6. In 2D hexagonal closed packing, coordination number is 6. Here, coordination number is equal to 6. Whereas, in square closed packing, coordination number is 4. This is 2 dimensional. Okay. Next, if we clearly observe here in square closed packing, there is much space vacant. That means packing efficiency is less in 2-dimensional square closed packing. This packing efficiency is 78.5%. Whereas in square closed packing, packing efficiency is 91%. 91%. Okay, we know we will observe the thing in the diagram itself. Or this is square closed packing. This is square closed packing. So in square closed packing, we are getting more space between the particles. In hexagonal closed packing, we are getting less space between the particles. Okay. Next, 3-dimensional closed packing. In 1-dimensional closed packing, there is just one way of arrangement, that is linear arrangement. Okay, we already discussed this one. Say this is the reference particle. It is in contact with the 2 other particles, hence coordination number is 2. Okay, so this is 1-dimensional. Closed packing structure in 2-dimensional. This can be generated by stacking rows of 1-dimensionally closed packed spheres, one above the other. Okay, linear closed packing under another linear closed packing like this. So these are of 2 types. Square closed packing we have already discussed it. Under hexagonal closed packing, we are discussing again now square closed packing. In square closed packing, this is one line of particles, and another row or line of particles are joining with the first row. They are coming contact with each other. Okay. So this is square closed packing. Say this is the reference particle. This is in contact with the 4 other particles. Okay. If we join these 4 centers of these 4 particles, we will get a square. So this is called a square closed packing. Okay. So all are of same type. So this is called AA type of 2D square closed packing. AA type of 2D square closed packing. The coordination number is 4. The coordination number is 4 in square closed packing. There is another way of 2D closed packing, that is hexagonal closed packing. How this hexagonal closed packing is formed? Say this is the linear packing of the particles. Now another linear particle of particles are arranged in such a way that the particles of the second row comes into the dips of the first row. Dips of the first row. Okay. So if we place the third row in the dips of the second row, we will get a line. Okay. If it is the reference particle, then this is in contact with the 6 other particles. So coordination number is 6. If we join the centers of these particles, we will get a hexagon. So this is called hexagonal closed packing. Here, the third row is similar to that of first row, and the fourth row is similar to that of second row. Okay. So first row and third row, if we designate as A and third, fourth as B, this is called AB type of close packing. AB type of hexagonal close packing. In square close packing, empty space is more. I already shown that one. In hexagonal close packing, the empty space is less. That means more space is occupied by the spheres in hexagonal close packing and less space is occupied by the spheres in square close packing. The vacant space is called void. We have already discussed. Okay. Next. In square close packing, the packing efficiency is 78.5. What is meant by packing efficiency? The percentage of volume occupied by the particles. Percentage of volume occupied by the particles in the crystal, solid crystal. Okay. So here less volume is occupied by the particles when compared with the hexagonal close packing. In square close packing, the packing efficiency is 78.5, whereas in hexagonal close packing, the packing efficiency that is 91%. That means if we take 100 cc of crystal, the particles occupied by the volume of the particles occupied in that one is 91. If in square close packing, if 100 cc is the volume of the crystal, then the volume occupied by the particles is only 78%. Here 91% and here 78.5%. Okay, this is about 2D close packing, which is divided into two types: square close packing and hexagonal close packing. Okay, next we will go to three-dimensional close packing. Okay, now we will discuss three-dimensional close packing. This is one two-dimensional closed packed layer. There will be only two axes, x-axis and y-axis. If this layer is covered by another layer, then we will get along z-axis, the spheres along z-axis also. So this is called three-dimensional packing. Okay, here this is one layer, this is another layer. These layers are packed such that the particles are in the same line vertically and horizontally. And here this is called three-dimensional square close packing. This is three-dimensional square close packing. Here the coordination number is 6. Here the coordination number is 6. Okay, this is a primitive unit cell. The unit cell of this structure is primitive unit cell. That means the particles are present at the corners. All layers are similar. So this is called AA type of 3D close packing. Okay. Okay. So 8 corners, 8 spheres are present. So this is a simple cubic lattice or primitive cubic unit cell. And in three-dimensional close packing, if hexagonal layers participate, then how will be in three-dimensional? Let us discuss it now. Okay, so this is one layer, and we kept the second layer such that the spheres fall in the dips of the first layer. Dips in the dips of the first layer. So placing second layer over the first layer. Here we will get two types of voids. Here we get two types of voids. They are tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. So the spheres of the second layer are coming in the tips of the first layer. Coming in the tips of the first layer. Okay. So this is layer A, this is layer B. Again, this is layer A. Okay. Here we get two types of voids. They are tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. If the third layer, we have already discussed the types of voids that come here, tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Tetrahedral voids are formed by four spheres. We have already shown to you. With the three spheres, we get a trigonal void, and with the fourth sphere, we get a tetrahedral void. If a fourth sphere is kept in the dip of the three spheres, this is called a tetrahedral void. Okay, that means if we join the four spheres, we will get a tetrahedron. We will get a tetrahedron. So this is called a tetrahedral void. Okay. Next, octahedral void. So this is formed by six spheres. This is a combination of six layers, three triangular voids. This is a combination of two triangular voids formed by six particles. Okay. If we join the centers of these six particles, we will get a octahedron. So this is called the octahedral void. Octahedron. So this is called the octahedral void. Okay. So how to calculate the number of tetrahedral voids and the octahedral voids? If the crystal is formed with n spheres or n particles, then number of octahedral voids is equal to n. That means number of octahedral voids is equal to number of spheres or particles. And the number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2 into number of spheres or 2 into number of octahedral voids. Okay. So if n is the number of particles, then number of octahedral voids is equal to n. Number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2n. Okay. Let us place the third layer over the second layer. When hexagonal layers, two hexagonal layers are placed one over other, such that the tips of the first layer or layers are placed by the second layer particles. Then two types of voids occur. They are tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. If we cover the tetrahedral voids with the third layer, okay, if we cover the tetrahedral voids with the particles of the third layer, then the shape will be like this. Then the shape will be like this. Say this is layer A, this is layer B. Again, the third layer is similar to that of first layer, or the spheres come one over other in the same horizontal and vertical lines. So this three-dimensional close packing is called ABAB pattern or ABAB type of hexagonal close packing. ABAB type of hexagonal close packing, or this is called SCP structure. It is called a SCP structure. In SCP structure, each sphere is in contact with 9 spheres. Sorry, 9 spheres. Okay, 6 in one plane, 3 above the plane, and another 3 below the plane. So 6 plus 3 plus 3, 12. Coordination number is 12. If octahedral voids of the second layer are covered by the third layer, then third layer do not coincide with the first layer or second layer. It cannot duplicate with first layer or second layer. A layer is different, B layer is different, and the third layer is also different. So ABC. If the octahedral voids of C are covered by the fourth layer, then the particles of the fourth layer will duplicate with the first layer. So if first layer is A, then fourth layer is also A. So this type of three-dimensional close packing is called ABC type of close packing. It is also known as cubic close packing or FCC close packing. Okay, so this is three-dimensional hexagonal close packing. In three-dimensional hexagonal close packing also, the coordination number is 12. So 6 particles in middle layer, 3 particles above the layer, and 3 particles below the layer. 6 plus 3 plus 3, total 12. So coordination number is 12. Okay, so coordination number is 12. Okay, in hexagonal close packing or three-dimensional, that means AB type of close packing or ABC type of close packing, coordination number is 12, and in three-dimensional close packing, again there are two types. They are square close packing or cubic close packing. This arises due to the 2D square close packing. And second one is hexagonal close packing. And third hexagonal close packing, and FCC square close packing. FCC or cubic close packing, CC. So this is about the three-dimensional close packing. Here also coordination number is 12. Sorry, here coordination number is 6. Coordination number is 6. These are 4 in the one plane and 2 above and below the plane. In hexagonal close packing, coordination number is 12. Okay, 3 plus 6 plus 6, 3, 12. Okay, of course this is AB type, and 3 plus 6 plus 3, 12. ABC type of close packing. This is about close packing in solids. We will discuss the how to calculate packing fraction or packing efficiency in the next class. We will discuss two problems which are given in the textbook now. That is based on tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Okay. So a problem is given like this. A compound is formed by two elements. A compound is formed by two elements, X and Y. Atoms of element Y, atoms of element Y make CCP, cubic close packing, and those of the element X occupy all octahedral voids. What is the formula of the compound? So this is the problem. So here the number of particles in CCP, that is Y or X6. Number of particles of Y, say X. Then the number of octahedral voids is equal to number of particles so X, these are X. So this is also X. Ratio of atoms of X and Y is equal to number of X atoms, X small x, and number of Y atoms also small x, that is equal to 1:1. Therefore, the formula of the compound is equal to X, Y. One particle X and one particle Y is present. So the formula of the compound is X, Y. Next. So another problem is given in the textbook. How to calculate the formula of a compound based on the number of particles in packing and the number of the voids occupied by the second type of particles. So if we take second question, atoms of element B form HCP lattice under those of the element A occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral voids. What is the formula of the compound? What is the formula of the compound formed by the atoms of elements A and B? Okay, this is the second question. So if we take the solution for this question, so which atoms are in packing? B atoms are in packing. Okay, later the number of atoms of B which are in packing is equal to small x. If number of atoms is equal to small x, then number of tetrahedral voids. Number of tetrahedral voids. What is the formula? Number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2 into number of particles in lattice points. Okay, that is equal to 2x. These are the number of tetrahedral voids. But all the tetrahedral voids are not occupied by A. Only 2/3 of tetrahedral voids are occupied by A. Therefore, number of atoms of A is equal to total number of tetrahedral voids 2x into, okay, among 2x voids only 2/3 are occupied. Okay, so 2 by 3. So this is the number of atoms of A. That is equal to 4x by 3. Okay, now we will take the ratio of atoms of A and B is equal to A atoms 4x by 3 is to B atoms x. Okay, number of B atoms x. So x they cancel out. That becomes 4:3. 4:3. So as the ratio of atoms of A and B is 4:3, the formula of the compound. So the formula of the compound is equal to A4, A atoms are 4 atoms, B atoms 3, A4, B3. So this is the formula of the compound formed by A atoms and B atoms. And radius of tetrahedral void, another formula which is useful in JEE or NEET. Radius of tetrahedral void is equal to radius of tetrahedral 0.225 r, whereas radius of octahedral void is equal to 0.414 r. Okay, where capital R is equal to radius of the particle. Radius of the particle. What is small r? Radius of the void. Radius of the tetrahedral void. Okay, this is radius of octahedral void. Okay, you can remember that for tetrahedral shape, RC or R small by R large is equal to 0.225 to 0.41. So you can remember like this. Similarly, for octahedral shape, the radius ratio will be 0.414 to 0.73. So lower limit, we can take a lower limit, which is multiplied by the radius of the particle. Okay, so these are the formulas which are useful for IIT, JEE and NEET. You also have to remember these formulas. Okay, thank you.